Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a topic with a title that definitely gets your attention. Don't Be a Dick, Change Yourself, Change Your World by Mark B. Borg Jr.
Yeah, it's pretty direct. And this deep dive is happening because you, our listener, you shared this source material with us. You wanted us to kind of cut through it,
You
right?
get the core message,
Yeah.
the practical stuff you can actually use, and figure out what to do with this very direct idea.
So that's the mission. We're going to unpack what the author really means by being a dick.
Which probably isn't what everyone first thinks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And look at the reasons why people do it, which are often surprising.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the strategies he offers for actually changing it.
It sounds like a journey into conflict, vulnerability, recovery, even, all from this book.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive in.
All right, so that title, Being a Dick, what's Borg actually talking about?
Yeah, let's get that straight first.
Well, first off, he's super clear it's not about identity. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with gender, race, religion, politics, none of that. It's purely a behavior. And specifically, he ties it to this feeling of righteousness,
Yeah.
a dramatic reaction where we end up treating people, well, badly.
Like the words we might use, douchebag, asshole.
Right, blowhard.
Yeah.
He even suggests the term later, the impletive, maybe as a less charged word. Think about it.
The impletive, okay, I can see needing a placeholder, but the main idea is this behavior it's like a cover.
Totally. That's the core. It's a defense mechanism. It's basically covering up our own vulnerability, our own hurt or fear underneath. Fundamentally, it's a resistance, resisting accepting things as they are, or as he calls it, living life on life's terms.
So when we can't handle reality or our feelings about it, we lash out or shut down like this.
Yeah, that seems to be the idea. That dickish behavior is the outward sign of that internal struggle.
And this sets up a really nasty cycle, right? The book talks about this self-victimization loop.
Oh, yeah. This part is really key. So our difficult behavior, the dickery, which comes from that hidden pain, it triggers reactions from other people, maybe counterattacks, maybe just negative responses. And then we look at their reaction.
And see it as totally unprovoked.
Exactly. We misinterpret it. We use their reaction to kind of retroactively justify why we acted out in the first place. That, righteously indignant, dickish attitude.
It feeds that whole, see, it's not me, it's them feeling.
Right. But Borg's whole point, and it's a bit radical, is...
It is, in fact, you.
Yes. Which sounds tough, but he frames it as, like, the good news.
How is that good news?
Because if the behavior starts with you, if it originates with you, then you have the power to change it. You can break the cycle.
Ah, okay. You're not just stuck reacting to how others treat you. You can change the first step.
Precisely. You have agency.
Okay, so if it is coming from us, why? What are the psychological reasons behind it?
Well, the book gets into this concept of acting out and not just like, throwing a fit.
Right, the psychological term.
Yeah. It's behavior that acts as a substitute, a replacement for remembering or processing really difficult past stuff, or even just feelings in the moment that feel unbearable, like deep pain or fear or anger.
So instead of feeling the feeling, we do something.
We do something, yeah. It's a way our system kind of bypasses having to consciously sit with those tough emotions.
That makes sense. It reminds me of Freud's idea, repetition compulsion.
Exactly. Borg connects it to that. We might unconsciously repeat these painful dynamics from our past and our current relationships instead of actually, working through the original hurt.
And Lacan had a take on it too.
Yeah, Lacan saw acting out sometimes as a demand for recognition. Like even negative attention is still attention.
And the driver behind it isn't always straightforward desire.
Right. This is where it's interesting with Yourse's idea of drive versus desire. Sometimes the real goal isn't getting something specific, like happiness or connection. The goal becomes just sustaining the process of not feeling. The behavior itself, the drama, the righteousness that becomes the point, because it keeps the lid clamped down on the underlying pain.
Wow. And he ties this back to childhood too, right? Attachment styles.
Oh, definitely. Big connection there. Current problems are linked to unresolved stuff, patterns we learned from our caregivers way back.
Like secure versus insecure attachment.
Exactly. He mentions the research insecure styles, whether avoidant or anxious, often lead to people kind of locking down their emotions or developing really rigid ways of interacting, which, stunts our ability to connect and deal with feelings in a healthy way.
And what about that inner critic? Feeling like you're fundamentally a bad person.
That's a huge piece of it. The internalized authority, the superego. If you're carrying around tons of guilt or shame, that feeling of being inherently bad is just awful.
So you push it outward.
You might, yeah. You project those judgments onto other people. You start looking for external reasons for why you feel so bad inside. Okay, they must be the problem, which leads to finding scapegoats.
It's like exporting the bad feeling.
Pretty much. And the act of being a dick can, weirdly, provide instant relief, a temporary escape. He even calls it like a mood-altering drug.
Oh.
Yeah, it makes the world feel different just for a moment. And it can also lock you into that scapegoat role in a family or relationship system. You become the identified patient, acting out the group's problems.
So everyone else avoids their stuff, but everyone's just tense around that person.
Exactly. Chronic vigilance. It's exhausting for everyone.
Okay, so we see the defense mechanism. How does it actually look in relationships? He gives concrete examples.
Yes, very practical. He points to observable behaviors, and he uses the Gottman's famous 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Ah, yeah, the predictors of relationship failure. He sees those as dickery.
Pretty much, yeah. Prime examples. So you've got criticism.
Which is attacking character, not behavior. You're lazy versus you didn't do the dishes.
Exactly. Then contempt, which is really nasty. Disgust, sneering, sarcasm, eye-rolling, often nonverbal. It just kills any chance of fixing things.
Totally shuts it down.
Then defensiveness.
Yeah.
The classic, problem isn't me, it's you. Just avoiding any responsibility. And finally, stonewalling. Emotionally checking out, the silent treatment. Just disengaging completely.
And he makes a big deal later about how different that is from a healthy pause.
Oh, absolutely crucial difference. We'll get to that. He also mentions Dr. Thomas Gordon's 12 communication roadblocks.
The dirty dozen.
Yeah. Things like ordering people around, blaming, analyzing their motives. Oh, you're just saying that because.
Oh.
Or even that kind of quick, dismissive reassurance that doesn't really help.
The book gives some really memorable stories of this stuff, like the turd hurler.
Oh, right, Brad and Joe. Brad leaves that incredibly passive-aggressive voicemail on Father's Day, just trying to ruin Joe's day.
Yeah.
That's the person who uses their own victimhood like a weapon.
Hmm.
And the lesson Borg takes from it is vital. Don't engage.
Don't pick up the turd.
Huh? Yeah, pretty much. Don't feed the behavior. If you engage, you get dragged into it. Joe just deleting the message and not responding. That was the smart move.
What about the mama bear thing?
That's the dance class dad story, where he gets treated poorly by another parent, sort of preemptively.
Like she was expecting trouble.
Yeah, driven by her own internal stuff, this rigid need to right perceived wrongs. It comes out as this righteous superiority. Borg's point is, acting like a dick, even when you feel totally justified, it's like wearing a kick-me sign. You actually invite the conflict you think you're fighting against.
It's not always so dramatic, though, right? Like the small stuff. Toothpaste caps.
Right, these subtly inconsiderate acts. Like James in the story having that online flirtation while Will is dealing with illness. Small things that just chip away at trust and safety.
But they also convince the person doing them.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. We tend to believe our own behavior.
Oh.
So these small acts tell others, I don't care. But they also convince us we don't care. Even though, as the story shows, it was covering up James's own deep pain and conflict.
And this isn't just personal life. It happens at work, too.
Oh, for sure. The Emily and Ray example. Emily misreads Ray's actions at a work picnic, gets angry, and starts planning this huge, like, nuclear response.
Based on perceived slights.
Totally. And Borg points out that just talking about it, like Emily did with him, often lets you hear how out of proportion your planned reaction is. It can create that crucial pause.
Okay, so we've got the behavior, the roots, the examples. How does Borg say we actually change this? He leans heavily on recovery ideas.
That is the absolute core of his approach. Treat being a dick not like you're just a bad person, but like a self-destructive pattern. Like an addiction almost.
So using tools from things like 12-step programs.
Exactly. Adapting those tools. The aim isn't just stopping one behavior, it's a whole lifestyle transformation.
And the #1 tool he pulls from that world.
Taking an inventory. A fearless moral inventory, as they say. But it's way more than just saying, oops, my bad. It's about really digging deep. Looking honestly at your part in problems. The good stuff too, not just the bad. Understanding why you fell into these patterns. What anxieties, what fears, what old hurts was this behavior trying to manage or hide?
So it's not just admitting fault, it's understanding the roots, like the exercises in the book.
Precisely. Deep self-understanding.
It sounds intense, but he boils it down simply too. Admit, amend, and repeat.
Yeah, that's the short version of the ongoing work. And a big part of that is knowing your rights. Specifically, The right to take responsibility.
You're right to be wrong.
And right. For your actions, positive and negative. Admitting you messed up feels terrifying if your default is, the world is out to get me. But Borg says it's incredibly empowering. It helps loosen that tight, defensive grip.
He also goes against a common idea about anger, doesn't he? That you should just let it all out. Venting.
Yes, this is really important, that idea of catharsis, that anger is just energy needing release. He argues and cites research that venting actually reinforces the anger pathways in your brain.
So it makes you more angry.
More likely to get angry again, yeah. And to seek out situations that trigger it. He calls it an emotional hamster wheel. Plus, it's usually done at someone, at their emotional expense.
So the goal isn't zero anger.
No, not at all. It's about letting that initial wave pass so you can get to the feeling underneath the hurt, the fear, and express that constructively instead of just spraying the anger everywhere.
And empathy comes in here as well.
Huge. Empathy is framed as a core part of the cure. Really trying to understand and relate to what someone else is going through. That directly counteracts the defensiveness and apathy that fuels dickish behavior.
Like with James and Will again.
Exactly. The connection only happened when they dropped the defenses and saw the other's pain. When you can genuinely step into someone else's shoes, the desire to lash out at them really fades.
Okay, recovery principles, inventory, empathy. What about in-the-moment practical things? What can you do?
The number one strategy, the absolute key, is hitting pause. Establishing what he calls a moratorium.
Okay, and this is not stonewalling.
Definitely not. Stonewalling is punishment. It's imposed silence. A moratorium is an agreement. It's deciding, maybe together, to step back when things get heated.
Why?
To calm down. To interrupt that impulsive, destructive urge. To create space so you can actually come up with a productive response later, not just react.
So it's a tool for connection, not for punishing someone.
Exactly. It's a retreat from the crisis edge, not into silence as a weapon. It lets you see the world maybe isn't as threatening as it felt a second ago.
Like the wasp story.
On.
Or John on the stairs.
Yeah, there's examples where pausing revealed the threat wasn't real or the expected confrontation turned into help. Practically, it could be like emailing angry stuff to yourself instead of hitting send.
He mentions doing that and helping a client Joan do it too.
Right. Or for couples, like Molly and Carter, agreeing beforehand. If this gets too hot, we take a 20-minute break, no questions asked. The key is it's proactive, agreed upon.
And the impletive fits in here too.
Yes, that's his personal instant pause button. Making that weird sound, cha-cha-cha, at the cyclist short-circuited his automatic anger.
It creates a tiny gap.
Just enough space between trigger and reaction to stop the acting out. And, protects others from maybe hearing something pretty nasty.
All of this, it sounds like it really hinges on being willing to be vulnerable.
100%.
Right.
Borg basically says, your ability to not be a dick is directly related to how much vulnerability you can tolerate.
The more okay you are with feeling vulnerable,
the less you need the dickish defenses. Working through that fear lets you access deeper intimacy, empathy, real connection. It also means questioning some old myths we carry around.
like needing to be totally self-sufficient.
Yeah, that myth. He brings in Fairbairn's idea of mature dependence.
Which isn't about being clingy.
No, it's countering the myth of total independence. Healthy adulthood includes interdependence. Being reliable, yes, but also being able to rely on others, asking for help, expressing yourself in relationships, that's a goal.
So giving up the acting out means you have to face whatever it was covering up?
That's the deal. The process means confronting the uncomfortable truths, the pain the behavior was hiding. And that includes how you treat yourself.
Don't be a dick to yourself.
Right. Turning that criticism inward isn't protective. It actually makes you more susceptible to judgment from others, and it blocks you from receiving compassion. Even though, he suggests, a lot of dickery is really a kind of messed up cry for help.
This definitely sounds like ongoing work. You're going to slip up.
Oh yeah. He's super clear about that. You will wipe out. Failure isn't just possible, it's part of learning. The surfer analogy, wearing dog shoes, just means you're trying, you're putting yourself out there, even if you fall.
It takes persistence.
Totally.
Yeah.
He quotes Samuel Beckett. Ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail better. That fail better captures it. Keep trying, learn from the failures.
And he brings in Gandhi, Satyagraha.
Yeah, applying that philosophy of nonviolent resistance to yourself. Resisting the urge to act like a dick, especially when every fiber of your being feels justified.
Turning that impulse into something else.
Exactly. Transforming the destructive urge or the urge to just stonewall into that constructive pause. Moving from just live and let live, which can be kind of passive towards live and help live.
And it's a daily thing.
Like a recovery, yeah, one day at a time. And a big part of that daily practice is staying focused on your own stuff.
Keeping your side of the street clean.
That's the phrase. Tending to your own emotional business makes you less of a target for others' stuff and less likely to get tangled up in it. Healthy boundaries start inside you. And self-acceptance is huge for breaking old patterns.
Like Anne's story, attracting bad relationships.
Yeah, I guess she felt she didn't deserve better. Accepting you're worthy of love and care can sometimes be the absolute hardest step.
Facing that internalized badness.
It often is the final hurdle, yeah. Accepting you deserve care. Which brings us to the impact we have.
The legacy question. How will people remember you?
Right. It puts the focus on the effect of our behavior. And he adds a twist. Legacy isn't just what you do for others, but how you receive from them, how you let them matter.
Like Mike's grandmother.
Yeah, she didn't just rescue him, she offered help, but also let him help her, building this deep mutual bond.
So not being a dick isn't only about stopping negative behavior.
No, it's also about opening up. Preventing self-harm, sure, but maybe even more. It's about making yourself available to actually receive the good stuff, care, concern, love from the healthy people out there.
Wow. Okay, we have covered a ton in this deep dive into don't be a dick. We've seen it reframed, right? Not just bad behavior, but a complex defense mechanism.
Yeah, rooted in fear, past hurts, showing up in those patterns, we recognize the four horsemen, the communication blocks.
But we've also walked through the path to change Borg lays out, using those recovery tools, the inventory, hitting pause with the moratorium or the impletive, really working on empathy, embracing interdependence.
And remembering that core idea, it is in fact you.
Yeah.
Which sounds maybe harsh, but it's actually where the power is.
Because you can change it. You have the agency.
Exactly. So maybe here's something to sit with, something to ponder from all this.
Okay.
Think about what feels like the bigger hurdle for you. Is it taking responsibility for your part when things go wrong? Or is it actually allowing yourself to receive genuine help or care or love from someone else? Which side of that coin represents the dickery towards others or yourself that might be holding you back?